Hey everybody, welcome back to Epic Maker Studio. My name is John. I'm hoping you guys are having a fantastic day, maybe even a fantastic week. We're going into the weekend right now, or we're just starting the weekend. I hope you have a good one. I hope you get some gaming, hobbying in, or just going out and touching some grass. So just when we thought the controversies might have kind of stabilized surrounding Games Workshop, a new one kind of poked its head up and then I think got a little whack-a-mole and got smacked back down. What am I talking about? Space Marine 2. You should see it on your screen right now, unless you are driving. If you are driving, do not look at this video. I don't want you to get in any sort of accident. So what's the deal with Space Marine 2? We're going to get into it. So if you're not familiar, Space Marine 2 is, well, part 2 of the original Space Marine game that came out many, many years ago. Was one of the best games out there representing you as a Space Marine. You basically are in the driver's seat with like a third person over the shoulder view of the title character, which was Captain Titus at the time. And it was probably the best game out there if you wanted to really get an idea of the grimdark universe that is Warhammer 40,000 and how just utterly hopeless and deadly it is. And you got to take on the role, which it's hard for us to comprehend because we're not these genetic superhuman warriors. It's hard to comprehend what it's like being in their shoes or boots or power armor. And that game allowed you to do that. And it had a great co-op system where, especially when you got to play the Horde mode, probably one of the best Horde modes I've ever encountered at that time. Since then, there's like the World War Z game, which I played that recently, and that Horde mode is great. There's some linkage there, so trust me on this. And it then had a pretty good PvP system that was really, I would say, better than a lot of other PvP games I have played, where you're getting like one shot, unless you have like a melt-a-gun or something like that. You're getting one shot by some guy that's halfway across the map looking at you, Call of Duty or Battlefield. So really amazing game. And then and the story, besides the end boss fight, which we're not going to cover, I don't want to do spoilers, and I really don't want to dredge up those memories of that really bad boss fight, but the ending of that story left a lot of people wanting, like, what the F? There was a lot of stuff that went on, and you're just like, I mean, at that time, I was like I still kind of am, Space Marine lore enthusiast. And I'm like, this guy, not Captain Titus, but a supporting character, just what he did was a no-no. And I'm surprised he didn't even get, reprimanded, at least story-wise. Well, we still don't know. We'll find out. At any rate, so years go by, and then in 2021, I believe, Focus Entertainment, who are producing this game, and Saber Interactive got together and said, hey, let's make Space Marine 2. So it was announced. Eventually, we got some pretty amazing, a pretty amazing trailer, a cinematic trailer for it, and over time, we have got some great gameplay footage. So, and if you haven't watched it, you can just go YouTube, Space Marine 2 gameplay footage. Looks amazing. So far, the response when they're on tour right now, going around the U.S., kind of promoting it, or the North America, I'm sure some other countries, and they've already fixed some of the problems that they had. There were some frame rate issues, and then they went in and fixed it, came back, and the game's running very smoothly. So really exciting. Everything about this game looks top notch. Definitely looking forward to it and calling up the boys and getting on Space Marine 2 and doing the whole co-op, right? You know, you can have up to 3 people playing the game at once, and then hopefully they have the Horde mode and the PvP, which, like, again, I don't like PvP, but this one I will do it. At any rate, that all aside, what does this have to do with controversies? Well, how do you explain it? If you're not familiar, we've had this controversy going on with the female Adeptus Custodes line. It's not necessarily that the female custode exists. It's how Games Workshop handled it with this company of amazing writers that have almost flawlessly blended this great narrative from their, like the early days, what we'll call the Horus Heresy, or a little bit before the Horus Heresy, to the present, present in 40K terms, not our terms. Oh, and to just lazily do it the way they did it and ghostlight the fandom right afterwards, and then clamming up and shutting down comments and all that kind of stuff. The way they handle it, that they definitely deserve some blowback for that. But I think it's going to settle itself. I think it's already settling. They kind of had a little uptick in stock price, and we still have the rest of this month to go to find out was there an impact or not. Now, that little recap's over. Let's focus on how Space Marine 2 is doing. Now, if you're not familiar, there's been a lot of games in the past few months that have been covered by various YouTubers and game journalists that have, a lot of these game companies and games have had these DEI and inclusion consultants. The biggest one was Sweet Baby Inc. If you haven't heard about Sweet Baby Inc., like I said, YouTube, just type it into YouTube search and you'll be hit with a wave of videos just lighting Sweet Baby Inc. up. And even though they are a DEI like consulting company, Sweet Baby Inc. and some of these other similar companies, they're pretty racist, yeah. And they've ruined a bunch of game products. Now, some of them might not be ruined. They might have just kind of slipped under the radar, but we can definitely talk about Suicide Squad at another time, how horrible that is. There's some stuff in Spider-Man 2, and there's a lot of other games that have been covered in depth by other YouTubers that I'm not going to cover. Looking at their client list, they've got some big names out there: EA, Xbox Studios, 2K, Square Enix, Ubisoft, Rocksteady, Wizards of the Coast, just to name a few. And some of these, it might be 2K. One of these, I believe, is Saints Row, and that's run into a whole bunch of problems. Ubisoft is having a problem right now with, I believe it's Star Wars Outlaws. If I'm wrong on any of those, put it down in the comments below. Correct me. I know you guys like to. So what does Sweet Baby Inc. have to do with Space Marine 2? Nothing. I'm just using this as an example. Going back to Space Marine 2, everything has been on the up and up until somebody did a little sleuthing and came across Ashley Cooper. Please do not go on to Twitter or X and harass this person. I don't think any of you will, unless you're like terminally online on Twitter. So Ashley is a senior writer with experience across mobile, indie, and AAA titles, currently knee-deep in Tyranid Guts, working on Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. The first little indicator of an uh-oh is games are for everyone and representation matters. I don't know where that link goes. I'm not going to follow it because I imagine it's going to be some horrible, woke, progressive, really like far left ideology that I really don't want to get into, and I don't want to give them the click. The click. I could be wrong. It could be a very mild site, but I'm not going to do it. So what is the big issue? Well, looking at Ashley Cooper, they got their little trans flag on there. All right, cool. Now, keep in mind, Space Marine 2 began development in 2021, maybe a little bit before, but we're going to go 2021. Now, most of these are old tweets, and I'm sure more are going to come forward. And this is where it kind of gets concerning. Are we getting Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 wokeified? He, maybe? I'm not sure. With that little trans flag there, and maybe, my personal opinion, some of the masculine features that Ashley Cooper has, Ashley Cooper might be a dude. So let's not cast cis white men and stuff for a year and see what happens, just for fun. Okay, not a lot of likes and retweets on that, but whatever. Okay, it's a little standard fare for woke people to do that. Sorry, cishet white dudes. Comics don't belong to you. Comics never belonged to you. I don't think anybody's ever said that they belong to us, but whatever. Now, mind you, these are 3 to 4 years prior to the start of Space Marine 2, and a lot in a person's life can change. Maybe somebody along the lines, and I'm sure we're going to get lots more tweets that before Ashley goes in and deletes them, or might have deleted them. Well, I'm sure they've gotten archived. But who knows? Maybe along the way, somebody pulled Ashley Cooper aside and said, look, dude, what you're saying is going to ruin your career. You need to shut up with this political gender ideology nonsense and just do your job. And I'm hoping that is what has happened. Now, a couple other gentlemen, and if I'm able to, you'll see the images here, reached out to Focus Entertainment and got actually a response from Hollis Lake, one of the pretty much the head dude for Saber Interactive, the ones that are actually developing the game. And his response, I'm not going to read it all, but basically Twitter user Lord Metalman said, genuinely hope you live up to the promise. I hope you are aware of the burden you have taken here in regards to the legacy of Space Marine or the Warhammer 40,000 universe. He says, do not take anything said by anyone. We've had our hopes trampled on and mocked too much in the past. It has left us all very cynical. Let us see what time brings. All right, so Hollis extends the olive branch. Let's see if I can come up with a better. Oh, there we go. Basically says, Ashley Cooper had responded. Sorry, to 40K fans who have started following me. We know how much this universe means. We know how much you have hoped for Titus to continue a story, which is true. We and Games Workshop wanted the game justice, and the fans proud. So I hope to see more soon. Cool. That is a very reassuring comment. And then Oliver Hollis basically comes out and says, I get it. You guys can be rest assured that we spent the last year reading No Fear, good book, and quoting the Codex Astartes. Met with George Mann. He's a writer over at Games Workshop or Black Library, maybe both, however you look at it. And right at the beginning, and he personally vetted the story. We want this to be the real deal and nothing less. So right now, that's kind of reassuring. Now, does that mean we're not going to get some woke BS in there? No, it doesn't mean that. They could we've seen developers do it before. We've seen artists do it like in comic books or software, or I guess would it be software engineers? No, whatever that title is that actually does all the graphics and makes the gameplay, or the writers. They will very insidiously kind of slip stuff in there. I mean, we could very well be playing Space Marine 2 and blink and you miss it, and there might be a trans flag in there. And it's like, come on, really? It's insulting, right? Does it hurt gameplay? No, but there's no need for it. There's no place for it. Anyways, so they felt the weight of the burden the day we started the pre-production. We have an office full of true fans. It's a dream come true for our studio. We're working hand in hand with GW and Black Library to create a faithful 40K experience that will knock your socks off. And right now, it looks like it is on point. Now, mind you, there's a lot that we have not seen, but I would say between now and September, we're going to be seeing a lot more, especially reactions as Sabertooth Games. That's old company. Saber Interactive and Focus Entertainment travel around with Games Workshop to all their big events around the North America and probably Europe. And we start getting some firsthand reactions from Space Marine 2. So, and as one of the last thing Oliver had said was, the trailer matches our vision perfectly. Sorry, it's not just a glossy marketing piece. Well, when we say grim dark, we mean grim dark. It's brutal, true angel of death moments aplenty. So now we've had them coming out and going, look, guys and gals, we've done it. We've made a true to to the lore, true to the type of action you should be seeing. You're getting your grimdark universe where there is only war. So a lot of good reassurances coming out of Focus Entertainment and Saber Interactive, and a part Games Workshop. Now, there's some people that are kind of other commenters, other people on Twitter and stuff that are concerned about these past comments. And I haven't seen any comments. I did some light deep diving, kind of more like maybe 10 meters under the water here, of Ashley Cooper's comments. I didn't find any. That doesn't mean that there's not more out there, but you know, these people are definitely entitled to their opinions, but as long as they're not bringing it to the game. And this sort of behavior, posting up on Twitter like this, especially when you are in a game industry, and I'm not trying to preach to you guys. I'm just, if you are in this realm of constantly being on Twitter and it's linked to you in some professional manner, or you're in a big business making these sort of comments, or whether you're on the right or the left, is not good optics. Stay off of Twitter. Just cancel your Twitter account. Just get off of it. Don't put anything that's going to damage your career or your fandom. I mean, look at a lot of writers out there. I mean, right now, I think Stephen King, even though he's got money to the bank, he's in all sorts of controversial trouble just over the past year of just opening his mouth and saying stupid shit. Don't do it. Just stay off. Stay off. So before we close out here, because I want to kind of wrap this up, if you are not aware, there are more warehouse issues at Games Workshop. This is going to be one of the closing things here, so just brace yourself. So from the 27th of May to the 3rd of June, they're going to be closing down the warehouse. They kind of already started closing down. Now there's some restrictions on some ordering going on at Games Workshop. This is just another. At least they're announcing it ahead of time. They're giving a heads up. Hey, at the end of the month. Now this could be for many reasons. Hey, we're switching over to the final product of our new, depending on European or North America, our whole shipping and procurement program that we're trying to launch. I've covered those before. It could be the prep time for them to focus on the 4th edition for Age of Sigmar. There are some indications that it's going to go up for pre-order at the end of the month and then be released in June. We'll see. I know some people are saying that it's going to happen at the end of the month. I don't think so. I think they're going to want to kick off the fiscal year nice and strong. That's my personal opinion. I'm not a business guy. You guys, if you're a business person, let me know. At any rate, so there's going to be some shipping disruptions going on at that time. But they've already been having shipping problems all year, actually past couple of years. But this year has been particularly rough. That they've had to shut down before. I know that there was the ice storm in February. Then there was some other issue going on, at least here in North America. So just be aware that there's going to be some problems going on ahead. So if you for some reason, need your product right now, go ahead and start ordering it. Get it from your local game store. Just get it secured now, especially knowing that there's going to be some. I would just assume right now that the shipping issues has started. And if you need that stuff, you better secure it as fast as possible because everybody else is going to be scrambling to do the same, especially if coming up in June, I believe, is the North America Open here in Dallas, Texas, I think, or is it in Austin? I think it's in Dallas. So just heads up, fair warning. So let me know what you guys think about the Space Marine 2 thing. Am I on the right track here, that thinking it's going to be a non-issue, that we're not going to see anything? There's not going to be like some guardsman with a trans flag on his uniform or his helmet or something. Am I thinking that we're going to get true to form, 100% full immersion into the Warhammer 40,000 universe, like we did with the original Space Marine? Or is it potentially going to be some, are we going to see our first female custode in this? Ooh, Ooh, wouldn't that just people table flip? Oh my God. Please, just for the clicks, let there be a female Adeptus Custodes in Space Marine 2. I want the clicks. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. Is this another non-issue thing that's just not going to go anywhere, or is it really concerning? Has Space Marine 2 been Sweet Baby inked? I don't think so. Well, they're not listed as part of their development or consulting crew, but are they going to get something similar treatment, or are they all right? Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will chat with you guys later. See ya.